Ah, Jesus Christ, like the 50th time I died. That's it. Nope, no more, no more. Rage quit.
Conan noobs!
Hello there once again, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome back to more of Wargame European Escalation multiplayer. This is the map Storm Eye, and you can see exactly why it's called Storm Eye. Look at the 2 points in the center, Delta and Golf, both at 4 points, and both in the middle of the river. They're divided from everything, and as you can see, there's only a few bridges leading into that area, so it's going to be tricky to capture, and you can definitely bet that both forces, both sides, all 4 players are going to be trying to get to that position. Now, those 4 players again are yours truly, teamed up with Lennon once again in a 2v2 against Slag Hump and a guy with a Russian name, which I could never even pronounce, but it looks like it starts with a 4, so that's what we'll call him. We will call him 4. I'm sorry that I can't read Skrillex. Lols, that's a joke if you know the Englishes and the text and whatnot. Anyway, yes, so they are NATO, we are packed, and welcome back once again, friends and fans. This is going to be exciting. I've also selected an option to divide Lennon and Raptor, so you can see us both, Lennon there in the yellow and Raptor in the red, so that way you guys can see who's doing what. So this should be our 5th replay now with Raptor and Lennon, and it's getting great. So as you can see here, Lennon warming up with a couple of BDRM 2Us and T62 and T80As, 4 T62s, 2 T80As, so definitely going heavy on the armor, as were yours truly, Raptors, going heavy on the Havocs. I'll also probably appear as, I believe, kind of a gray color during, well, he's kind of gray too, but this does stand out a little bit more. But you can see there's 4 of those there, and let's look at the stats for this chopper. It's got 2,626 meters and 10 accuracy on that on its ATGM, so it's definitely a deadly weapon. And over here, let's see what the enemy's deploying. Nothing quite yet. They may be strategizing. They have both FOBs as well. It's not too often you see players bring out more than their starting FOB, but let's talk strategy for a moment. Lower left-hand side of the map you'll see is hotel, and it looks like in the middle and in the top there are continuous reinforcement points all the way down the map, which basically means that the map is basically set up so that way both forces are going to clash. As you can see, Bravo and India and then Delta and Golf are basically right in a line with each other, with reinforcements kind of pushing into the eye of the storm, basically. That's why they call it Storm Eye. So it definitely does make sense. The river, most of the river is uncrossable except for an area here, and then more areas around Golf and Delta, and then an area back here. So it's another mirrored map. But you'll definitely have to make sure that you have or deny the enemy the use of Golf and Delta, because not only is it worth huge points, not only is it worth 8 points if they capture the entire island, but it definitely could cut you off from the whole rest of the map. And if the enemy sneaks in somewhere around Foxtrot or Echo with some type of maybe airborne units to capture, you're going to get cut off and or have a bad day, because if the enemy quickly rushes to Echo, goes across the bridge down the street into your house, it's going to be Snoop Doggy Dizzle knocking at your door, and you do not want that, homeboys. So as you can see, there's a little bit of I'm doing a UAZ with some CSUs guarding our command vehicle. It looks like also Mi-24Ps, 6 of those along with an Mi-2 are up, along with the 4 MI Havocs. I'm sorry, the Mi-28 Havocs and the Mi-2 for a scout for that. So heavy air this round, very unusual for me. Lennon going with a really good spread here, Mi-9 scout, along with the a really good spread, anti-tank units, T-62s. Let's get a close-up on these. Beautiful units. Really cool. And a Buck anti-aircraft there. And let's see, there we are. 4 missiles on that. 4 missiles. And then a couple of troop transports and everything else. So let's see what we're doing here. Kind of a sneaky snake here. Also, I've selected myself so you cannot see the enemy after starting. So we're going to switch that back to neutral so we can see what everyone's doing now. I guess I didn't know that, but that's alright. You know who's who now. If you see the choppers, it's probably me. Let's see. Number 4, going over here with his Gazelle 34 1F cannon. which do not take photos with the famous camera, but they bring a little bit of hurt, especially to light armored units and to command vehicles. And as you can see, the Havoc's now going to see if the enemy's trying to spread to Elena, which they are not. Looks like a lot of infantry moving towards Boris, and a cruise control moving into the forest, along with an M151A1 command unit, M113GA1s, and it looks like those are filled with regular infantry and also surface-to-air missiles. And it looks like the cannons are now engaging. Ammo box hit on that Mi-24P. Retreating now just slightly. Leopard 1A3s and 1A4s moving in a total of 8 of those of both model. Marauders, Jupiters, and more cruises. A Chevy Cruise rolling in from the back. A little bit of destruction going on here. Routing on those tanks. Whoa, missile going up in the air. Leopard's taking some heavy hits. They're rolling right in. Stunned but not completely destroyed, only losing 2 1A3s. Cannon rolling up again. Flak Panzer being called in. Let's see what's happening with the Havocs, if anything. Looks like they're moving in as well. Looks like these will probably retreat, and so as for the Havoc. Oh, it looks like they're retreating as well, with the Pivads moving up as well, a Gatling unit for the Allies, or for NATO. Basically an APC with a flak on it, or a Gatling cannon. Cute paint job, really nice, really well done. Okay, so let's see, Lenin here moving in to kind of secure Fedor without capturing, a nice denial tactic. We now have Gregory under our control, as well as Ivan, so we've gone in straight in while I've taken the flanks to try to control the enemy's attempt to flank on Gregory and Dmitry. We hold the island. Excellent. Mi-24-2s getting ready to fire again at Marauders. And Cannon moving in to take the shot for the President. No, couple seconds too late, unfortunately. One of them smoking, almost destroyed on one of those. Stunned again. Points at 180 for Pact and NATO at 0. Not too many points scored yet for all the firing that's been going on. Let's see what those Havocs are up to. Nothing. Mi-2 doing some more scouting. They're definitely defending this bridge here then, so we can't cross. So all the action will come down to the middle. Panzer Grenadiers getting ready to fire, perhaps. Their ATGMs will fire at perhaps the T-64Ms. Leopard getting ready to retreat, definitely being engaged by the Su-122-54s, and one of those being hit. And I believe a unit may have been destroyed. Looks like a Marauder may have been destroyed. Not sure if it was from the Zalo or the Su-122. Let's see exactly where... okay, I thought reinforcements may have been coming for a push, but no. Mi-24 is moving in now for the engagement of the Leopard A1s. Marauders taken out as well. A lot of infantry hiding around here as well, in the rear. Probably coming up after a moderate retreat. Mi-24 is now more than likely being pulled back just to refit and rearm, especially repairs. As you can see, a lot of those are out of their missiles and rockets, so it's definitely a better choice to pull back for those. Especially because, I mean, if you can't engage, just pull back. Mi-2 also probably being pulled back for lack of fuel. Havoc's doing okay, not even firing a round. Not even a single bullet fired on those Havocs yet. I'm sure they're having a sad day, not even being able yet to play the game. Mi-2 back here as well, moderately low on fuel, doing a nice patrol of center. Panzer Grenadiers firing again at the Su-122, I believe. Is that where I'm hearing the firing? Su-122 is taking out most of those Panzer Grenadiers. I was hearing some ATGM fire, or maybe it was from this buck. That may have been it. But T-62 is now split up from Lenin, and I guess they're just parked in the dealership, just to wait, I suppose, to see if these Panzer Grenadiers either move forward or, well, he's probably waiting for somewhat of a push. Brian Boitano being brought up, the TOS-1 Brian Boitano. Let's see what this is all about. Very nice. It's basically a Ford Explorer with a mattress tied to the back of it with a bunch of fireworks. Very inaccurate, but very deadly, especially in close range. Perfect for clearing out this forest. T-80 is now engaging. hard to see them. They will be transparent since they are under cover. But they are engaging and have destroyed infantry there. Oh, let's see what happens here. T-80's destroying a few of those M113s. Whoa. Almost all of them taken out by T-62 and T-80. Whoa. Panzer Grenadiers almost destroyed. 40 Panzer Grenadiers nearly taken out, well, completely taken out now by those combined forces in the woods. Cobra's now moving in to take out the T-62s there as well. M9, sorry, the Mi-9 almost destroyed by the, I believe, the blowpipe. 40 of those men, or no, 20, hiding in the woods here. Banner taken out, or a notification to defend against the Cobras there. Total 3. Bradley CFV Recon also watching the area around Elena. The enemy has taken up a complete defensive stance. As you can see, we're starting to flood into Gregory and or refitting and refueling. Fedor's under our control. Center also under our control as well, since helicopters can pretty much swoop in here. It's a very open area, especially from Boris to center. Not a lot of areas for enemy tanks to hide. And definitely not a good idea to bring any of those M113s out anywhere near the bridge, since T-80s control that, and there's no real air cover. More M113s being brought out. Heavy on the infantry. Very inefficient, very ineffective. Even more infantry and more Cobras being brought out. Again, this is more of an air and tank map just because of the open fields. Infantry can be effective if you can get them into the woods, but not a great idea to bring them right in front of the enemy here in this open field. Let's watch as T-80s obliterate some more M113s coming up. Safely into the woods for them. Not too many hits done there. T-62 probably getting ready to fire its Bastion missile. And there it goes. Destroy. Oh, almost destroy. Well, they did destroy something here. I thought one of the Leopards would have been destroyed. Let's pull out again to watch this exchange of fire. T-62's opening fire. Let's hop on the backs. See what's going on. One Leopard destroyed there. Black Panzer being held in the rear. M113's breaking through with the Jaeger. Combat level increase. T-80's engaging, taking a little bit of damage. One T-80 destroyed. Mi-24P's finishing them off. Wow, a nice foothold that would have been great if it was backed up by more tanks advancing, but only the 1A4s were brought in. Mi-24P's engaging the crews over here, and blowpipes getting ready to fire at the MIPs again. Not taking any of them out though. For as many men that were in that the wooded area here, only slight damage to those helicopters. Not really slight, but for as many men that were there. Havoc's now finally being brought in and having a little bit of fun with the riflemen. Running into the forest there. I do apologize for any lag. It's quite takes up quite the processing power to run fraps and this game at the same time and do all these crazy angles. A unit destroyed here, I believe. Probably a, let's see what it is. Looks like a Marauder of some sort, perhaps. Panzer Grenadiers being hit again. Their Marauder. Oh no, a helicopter. Could have been a scout taken out here, and he'll crash in just a moment into the. Looks like he wants to take out the barley field. Enemy barley field under attack as a secondary missile comes in to attack the whole wheat field. The French are going to be pissed. Baguette's delayed 30 seconds. Lulz, that's a joke. Marauders parked here now. Panzer Grenadiers kind of sitting somewhat close to that T-80. Not moving to cover, but getting ready to engage with their ATGM. The Milan F1 firing that. And a complete miss for them. T-80 returning fire, almost destroying that entire unit there. Things slowing down a little bit as the enemy has run out of steam for all the infantry that they brought out. Heavy defense now, but chipping away at our defenses here as we fire back big time. Score now at 1,415 to to 206. As you can see, they're feeding one unit at a time into our machine, basically, and we're om-nomming them quite well as they bring up Marauder after Marauder with no other defense, no artillery, nothing to really root out Lenin's brilliantly placed T-80. One of them only destroyed by a group of 40 Panzer Grenadiers that only destroyed them with luck from their grenades, but no real effect on that position, as Recon's also there in a T-62. Enemy now bringing up some Vulcan, perhaps taking that right flank. More Marauders being brought up to take the center flank. Left flank, or at least from their view, is still being heavily defended. I now calling out for Lenin to open fire with his Brian Boitano on that the forested area, the wooded area here. Also bringing in, looks like 4 is bringing in some more LAD troops, as well as a Chevy Cruise, the Recon unit, which also gets 40 MPG, available now at a dealership near you. So attack notification going out, Brian Boitano being brought up along with some Su-122, some old Soviet weapons. Let's take a look. Yes, a very old Soviet tank destroyer. This reminds me I'll have to change my ground textures a little bit, as they're not up to par. As you can see, though, when I play, I mostly know what these units look like and their capabilities. So when I play, I lower some things to give me a little extra speed, and you know, I don't zoom in too often. Again, that's about as close as I get. So when you go really close, you know, the bushes, they really look nice. Everything looks great, but could touch it up a little bit more. I'll probably do that in the future, but we have a special surprise for you. Oh yes, what I've been keeping secret this whole map is Lenin's secret attack. Yes, Mi-8 TVs, which are loaded with 128 57mm rockets, along with 2 squads of deadly Soviet Spetsnaz. Oh, this is going to be quite the treat. Keep your eye on that in the mini-map, ladies and gentlemen, but before we get more into that, let's see what's going on with this Brian Boitano. Brian here, almost ready to fire. 30 rounds ready, just waiting to give the order. Looks like Mr. Robato's MSTAS artillery being brought to the front. Already here, actually, but being positioned to also fire on that force. No doubt more Marauders being brought in to prevent a crossing into Boris. Right now, the enemy is, well, basically their only strong point, as they have it heavily defended with Vulcans, Marauders, and probably can be flanked pretty well from this position just outside of Elena. Chinooks being brought in, or maybe already brought in and refueled some units somewhere else, not exactly sure. A lot of FOBs. They did bring in more FOBs from what we did see at the beginning, just noticing that now. But anyway, cue the secret agent music as the Spetsnaz fly in here. Let's take a look. Lenin bringing them in from the far right flank. Brian Boitano opening fire now. Let's take a look at that. Whoop, way off. Here we are. Oh boy. Units fleeing. Trail of tears for the Marauders, as I believe all 4 of those British light transports and all 4 separate units of those LAADs were just pushed away. Wow, a complete abandonment of that ridge, or the defense of that riverbank. Wow, that is amazing to see all of those units destroyed and or retreating, giving us a little breathing room. Mr. Robato's opening fire on the secondary defensive position for those units, hitting a rough ground. The Chevy Cruise already panicking, as I believe the automatic door is stuck open at the drive-through, not able to get the change out, having to park at that number 1 and going in with shame and asking for it because he couldn't get it at the drive-through, unfortunately. Havoc's moving in as well, but let's go for the piece de resistance, shall we? Oh wow, look at this. So we have a M1. Oh, look at 3 command units here. 1, 2, and 3. 1 is a backup, 2 parked at Anna. Let's see what Lenin can do. Dropping off his troops now. 20 Spetsnaz on the field. The Spetsnaz opening fire. No, the Mi-8 TV's opening fire at the 1st command unit there. Boom, one destroyed. 200 points for us, bringing us total to 1,800, while the enemy sits at 206. Spetsnaz moving towards the wood to engage the M114A1. MI8 TVs getting ready to fire again. They are reloading, 17% accuracy. Let's see what they can do against that forward operating base. Boom, taking that out completely down. MI8 TVs more than likely moving in towards that. Bradley opening fire on those MI8 TVs as well. Spetsnaz opening fire on that M114A1. Let's see if they can hit it. They did do a little bit of damage to it. Browning opening fire, losing a man on that Spetsnaz squad. MI8 TV ammo box hit on that. Retreating as Stinger and Bradley IFV are firing on that MI8 TV, damaging both of those. One unit already upgraded to 3 stripes. A lot of action now taking place in this area after that Brian Boitano round. My Havocs did a little bit of job cleaning up around, but let's see what happens. One MI8 TV taken out now finally by the I believe it's oh, it is a Stinger squad. Okay, it may have been blowpipe, but it is Stinger firing again. Complete miss, close but no cigar. Spetsnaz units closing in, getting closer and closing in on that M15A1, the Jeep basically, and this is the MI8 TV may take it out. Let's see what happens. Who will win? The Spetsnaz beat him to it. Now they lose Anna. MI8 TV routing. Opened fire upon by that the Browning machine gun mounted on top of there. 2,100 total points for Pact. 236 for NATO. Spetsnaz units moving to engage that Bradley. Let's see if they can destroy that. Ooh, close. A little bit of damage to that Bradley. Let's see as it retreats. Well, now it's coming back in, I guess. Oh, and number 4 surrendered. Number 4 surrenders, and the Stinger group now moving to engage the Spetsnaz group in the woods. Wow, the M114A1 being brought in to either retake Anna or engage that Spetsnaz squad. Bradley engaging the Spetsnaz as well. What's going to happen? Bradley's been stunned. Oh, what's going on? Bradley taken out. Will he be able to get the command center? Or will he just run over the troops? Optical weapons are jammed now on the command unit. Spetsnaz, just looking at them as they drive by, the unit is stunned, and critical impact internal ammo explosion, destroying the final NATO command center, probably on the battlefield. A total of 3 there destroyed by Lennon. Hats off to you, comrade. Wow, as the proletariat rises from the stands to applaud him for just an outstanding victory with those special forces. A real interesting end to a real, basically a real tense battle. As you could see, a lot was riding on that center position, as I had said from the beginning, and the enemy could have flanked us at any time. We did have great recon to make sure that the enemy didn't get around us and didn't get too many points against us, which is why you see the enemy at 236 to our 4,021. So again, if you are in a stalemate for a battle, or if you want to end it without losing too much or giving the enemy too many points, or if it is close, if it is a stalemate, whatever the case might be, look for those extra alternatives. Don't forget to have in extra units for end games like this. And so anyway, keep watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out those other videos, as well as the videos for Men of War and Tricky Truck and Sumatory Dreams on there, as well as Scania Truck Driving Simulator. I always say it wrong, but hey, you can't hate a player, can you? Hate the game. So anyway, until next time, friends and fans, this is Raptor reminding you to keep your password and your pimp hand strong.